Hello and welcome to Business Matters, the show about people behind businesses that help make Tacoma a great place to live and work. I'm your host, Mike Wark, and on today's show, it's fresh and homemade food at a neighborhood pizzeria. And on Tacoma Means Business, Andrew Fry asks what your corporate culture is like. And today, our guest is Will Manzanares, owner of Tacoma Fresh. Welcome, Will.
Hey, thanks for having me, Mike.
So you have a new business that does something really unique, which is really healthy food, and it's fast.
Yeah, well, it's fresh, healthy food on the go.
It's healthy.
Yeah.
On the go. So
yeah.
when you say healthy, you're talking about fresh ingredients and dietary considerations, the whole works?
I'm talking about everything. We can go to different dietary restrictions or dietary preferences, from vegetarian, vegan diets. If you have a gluten intolerance. Basically, if you have any food ailment, we've catered to you.
And you can walk in and grab it. But
yeah.
You also, just if you're interested in good, solid, healthy food, there's that there too, right?
Yeah, it's a fresh convenience store concept where if you want fresh snacks on the go, you can go there.
So if I go to fast food often, it's deep fried, there's unhealthy aspects to it, but this is what's different about it. You can walk in there, pre-prepared sandwiches and dishes, right?
Yeah, like we have zucchini pasta with grass-fed meatballs. So if you have...
So the pasta's made out of zucchini?
Yeah.
So it's all vegetables, and
yes.
then you have grass-fed meatballs and sauce?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
And it's good?
Oh, it's amazing.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what else?
We have different wraps. We have Thai chicken wraps and salads, Caesar salads with house-made dressings, house-made balsamic dressings. It's anything that you wanted on a healthier version, made fresh daily, so there's not the preservatives.
And sandwiches?
Oh yeah, and lots of sandwiches for people who love those.
And so I can come in and pick from any range of those things for my meal. But do you have other things too? I can get stuff to help myself cook with?
Oh yeah, we have the opportunity for anything like coconut oil, if you want to cook with that, or avocado oil, and some prepared stuff that you would find in health food stores. It's on a convenience store scale. It's not multiple items of the same product line. It's just shorter.
Do you have greens and vegetables too?
Yeah, seasonal. We'll go with what's seasonal. So right now we'll have some seasonal. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. So Tacoma Fresh, you're right there in Northeast Tacoma.
Yes.
And it's your first store, and you opened in March?
March 1st.
Yeah. So how's the reception been for this?
Oh, it's been positive. People from the community have came out and said thank you for being here, and we've been wanting this. So that's really fulfilling when you do something that gets people happy.
And when people say that, I would imagine they're return customers.
Yes, we've had a lot of repeat customers just in our short time frame of being open.
Because where else can you go and get such fresh things? You just come in, grab them, go, and the prices are reasonable, and it's really good.
For the price of what you would go to any other restaurant, it's less than that, and it's on a grab-and-go basis, so you can just grab and go. People, on these nice days, people go, if they're going to the beach, they'll tell us their whole story, like, oh, we're going to the beach today, and we need something healthy for the family, so they'll grab the packages and go.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you are a serial entrepreneur of sorts, and Tacoma Fresh is actually somewhat of a departure from your previous business, isn't it?
Yeah, the Tacoma Fresh sits in a building that was a bar and also a tobacco retail store. Which
you owned?
Which I owned.
And was a successful business employing people?
Yeah, we employed a lot of people, and yeah.
Yeah, but you changed.
Well, the joke was I weighed 240 once in my life.
You weighed 240 pounds?
240 pounds.
So that's a lot more than you do now.
A lot more. Like, people joke that I'm half the man I was. Almost. The joke was when I hit 180, I did a 180, and I started thinking there is no healthier options that I could find in Tacoma based on my dietary restrictions and my allergies. So,
which you had just sort of surfaced.
Yeah, on my 30th birthday, I discovered I had a nut allergy. That was a great birthday.
Yeah, present. No kidding. Happy birthday.
Yeah, and then with trying different things on my body, I discovered I'm lactose intolerant and don't eat gluten. So
all those things.
When you start lining that up, you go, where can I eat? Because it's the mainstream food is for people who don't have allergies.
So some people would just settle into a lifestyle of creating their own food, but you just decided to change your business approach.
I can't cook. So I said there's got to be people like me who want to eat on the go, who don't know how to cook or don't have time to cook or are just too busy, because you forget. If you meal prep and then you leave home and you forget all that things you prepped, when you're hungry, you want to eat now. So
I'm always fascinated by how entrepreneurs think. So you, through your own experience, identified a business niche, an opportunity, that you didn't see anywhere else. But you had a successful business plan going. You had.
It's the opportunity is, I think it was a binge watching of Netflix one weekend where I said all these problems and people keep talking about business should be the solution. And I realized, was I solving the wrong problems? Everyone has the same kind of convenience store out there. They copy and sell the exact same thing over and over. Why is there no health food store? And a lot of those questions kept me up at night, plaguing and planning. And I said, we can do this. And then I had a great friend who cooks well, so that just helps.
Did you look anywhere for inspiration? Did you draw on any other businesses?
There's nothing exactly like Tacoma Fresh that I have found anywhere, but I spent a lot of time in Southern California, which why not?
Yeah.
But they have a lot of health food stores down there, and I was realizing, why don't they have anything like this up here? And nothing against the ones up here. I wanted to be different than the current stores in the area.
Right, and there aren't a lot of them.
Yeah, they're not. There's a couple.
So you ran this other kind of business, and now you have Tacoma Fresh. Which one do you enjoy?
Tacoma Fresh. I spent all my time there.
Why is that?
Because when I'm in there and I can hear the stories of people who said, I couldn't find products like this, or I've had this disease, and I gave up on this food and I feel better now. Those are why I do this. I get to hear the inspiration of others thanking us for being there, and also sharing their story and learning about other types of food ailments or allergies that people have, which allows us to adapt quickly to the menu. Someone came in and said they wanted this, they're allergic to sugar, all can't have any sugar, so we've developed a menu that can cater to them.
So you continue to evolve your menu based on what your customers are telling you?
Yes, whatever they're asking, what they need or what they want or what they're looking for, and if they're like me and they can't cook, where do they go?
So it's a business model that's evolving. It's one you've developed, and it sounds like something you're very passionate about.
Yes. When I started realizing when I had torn my shoulder, which started this all, and I couldn't work out at what I could.
Which is how you're trying to address the weight issue.
Yeah, and I started gaining back all my weight, and I started buying the stretchiest clothes, and I was so frustrated with myself. So I said, I'm a self-proclaimed, I've read thousands of business books in my life, so let me pick up one diet book, and it changed my life because I started experimenting and lost more weight in 1 month than I did for years of working out, and then lost even more weight the second month. And I said, it's all about food and what you put in. And if you're on a go in Tacoma, it's hard to eat. And I finally agreed that there was no place that I could eat healthy on the go.
So was there a point at which you looked at all the factors that would be involved? I mean, you were selling tobacco and convenience products, which are non-perishable. And now you're doing all fresh, prepared daily. It's a whole different kind of series of factors. Was there a point at which you did all your research and realized, I think I can do this? Can you talk about that?
There was a point when I was at a convenience store convention in Vegas, 400,000 square feet of food, where I was there previous 5 years ago, and I ate and I was full. And I went in there with my friend who was trying different diets with me and not on the same restrictions, and I couldn't eat anything. I was so mad that day. I was like, I can't eat anything. Not allergy, remember, so that really limits me. And so I then said, the next day I was like, oh my gosh, I can't eat anything. All these convenience stores sell the exact same thing. They're trying to get the maximum date on their products. They're trying to get the maximum shelf life, and that was the big selling point. And I was thinking, why can't we take it back and make things fresh daily? Why can't we do this? Why is no one doing this? And so...
Well, the fact that no one is doing it, did it make it hard to get the distribution channel set up for you?
Yes.
Yeah.
I had more setbacks trying to hit my March 1st deadline than opening another tobacco convenience store. Those were easy. And I'm sorry, not for some people it's not, but for me it's like I could open one tomorrow. I even used that as an example that how fast I've opened up stores with certain distributors who said, you won't be open in time, no, you're too small, blah, 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 blah. That's what I heard. I heard like the peanuts, womp, womp, womp. So I decided that was my inspiration. For the first time of opening this one, I had more people saying, good idea, that'll work. I just have to prove it still every day.
Yeah, and you are. I mean, it's taken off. It's successful.
I mean, I define success not in the dollars coming in, but the amount of lives that can change by the food we produce. That's
fabulous, and it's happening, and that's a really exciting concept. So, what's next? Are you looking to doing additional stores?
The biggest thing is we're being in Northeast Tacoma. People have said, you're not in Tacoma. I'm like, no, we're in Tacoma. I think having other stores in Tacoma and really branding Tacoma as a a good name. I would keep the name Tacoma Fresh if we expanded even to other cities. I think that would help show Tacoma and show the rest of the state that Tacoma has healthy food.
That's fabulous.
Yeah.
And so how would you do that? Would you manage all these stores? Would you franchise them? Or what's your vision for how that'll take place?
One time when I had all those businesses, when I closed them down, I had 5 locations. So I knew how to manage multiple locations. So it's just, you have to be in the store and figure out who the key players are to be in certain positions. And I'm really good at finding the right people to fill the needs.
So what is the secret of finding the right people for that?
I look for someone who's hardworking and they want to prove themselves, because I want to prove myself, just like that little bit of entrepreneur, that little bit of spirit. Someone had to know what it was like to have a restriction. When we started Tacoma Fresh, we said if you don't have a dietary restriction, you got to give up something for 30 days to know what it's like.
No kidding.
One of my managers lost 13 pounds by giving up soda, and he'll never drink it again.
Wow.
Because of that. So it was one of those things where if you know what it's like to have a dietary restriction, then you know what it's like to be our customer.
Right.
So that's looking for that, and just looking for positive, outgoing people.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing how your business develops, seeing more stores show up. It sounds like you're making a great impact in Tacoma. Thanks, Will, for being our guest today.
I appreciate it. Thanks for your time.
So stay tuned. After this, we'll be back with Tacoma Means Business when Andrew Fry will tell us about your corporate culture. What's your corporate culture like? That's the question Andrew Fry asks when it comes to the overall look, feel, and goals of your business on this edition of Tacoma Means Business.
One of the things that I do along with teaching at the University of Washington Tacoma is also teach in a certificate program at the Key Professional Development Center. In this particular case right now, a certificate in entrepreneurship. And we cover a lot of different topics about how you build up your company plan, and so on. And in a recent session, I brought in the topic of building a corporate culture. What I found interesting was that the initial response of the people there is, that's phooey, what's corporate culture? I don't understand why you could, how is that something that solidly you can do? When you are building a company, you want to make certain that this company, it's not you. The company is something you've created. It's more of a parent-child relationship as opposed to an extension of self. A lot of people like to think of that. It's an extension of me, but when it comes down to it, it is something that you have sculpted, created, grown, and then eventually, hopefully, let run on its own at some point. Very much like raising a kid. So if you're going to raise a kid, what do you want that kid to be like? Do you want them to be truthful, honest, hardworking? Do you want them to be open-minded and giving? What is it that you've been looking for your child? And when you think about that for your business, what do you want your business to be? Do you want your business to be big and strong and bold? Do you want it to help the world? Do you want it to go out and become successful? What is it that you're looking for in your company? And what are the characteristics that you can actually mold and create as part of it? Just like you'd mold and create someone you were raising or training. Well, there are a number of different ways that you can go about it. One that I continually say is got importance is that mission and vision statement. What is the rationale for that company? Why is it there? But it's not just the mission and the vision down the road, but also the goals. What are the things that you're hoping that this company is going to accomplish? Now, when you set that mission, vision, and goals, then you sort of have to wrap around that. What are the type of people that I want working there? What do they dress like? And when I say that, if you walked into your financial institution and everyone was in t-shirts, shorts, and flip-flops, how would that make you feel about that financial institution? Well, that they're so successful they don't care about the impression they make? Maybe, but also there's a certain seriousness that goes with it. There's a reason for dress code. There's a reason for putting together a human resource handbook, an employee handbook that gives a few pieces of information about what you want the culture to be like. Those are different considerations that you have that will build the overall culture of your company. Additionally, things like logos and brands and color schemes help to build out what you're looking for. Brown may not be an exciting color for you, but it certainly worked well for UPS. It is a question of what you were thinking about to create that overall look and feel of that thing that you have brought into this world and are raising up to be as successful as it can be.
Thanks, Andrew. For more ways on helping grow your business, check out Tacoma's Community and Economic Development Program at TacomaMeansBusiness.com. When Business Matters returns, we'll go to Tacoma's North End for a neighborhood pizza place that's packed with plenty of zesty atmosphere in the spotlight. Today in the spotlight, it's beer and pizza with a classy twist at Hank's Bar and Pizza.
I'm Seth, and welcome to Hank's Bar and Pizza.
Anchored in the middle of a quiet Tacoma neighborhood is Hank's, an upscale festive location for food and refreshment. The people and food are fun and spirited.
Hank's Bar and Pizza is a local neighborhood pizza joint. We focus on handmade pizzas, we bake our own bread, handmade doughs and sauces. We feature a lot of local, both distilleries and local breweries. Just a great neighborhood place here in the historic North Slope District for our neighbors and friends to hang out.
For more than a century, the building at Hank's has been everything from a barbershop to a mercantile. The owners of Hank's took a progressive step forward and made investments. Some are simple changes, others turned out to be eye-popping additions.
This building has been here since the late 1800s. It's been several times renovated, most recently probably 2 years ago. And really to keep this place with the soul and to honor the age, all the wood and the ceiling and a lot of the trim pieces were actually taken out of the E.R. Rogers Mansion. Those pieces of wood are nearly 100 years old themselves, and so it kind of holds true to the time period of the building.
Seth knows beer, and he knows how the product plays into Hank's business model. Cans. A lot of cans tastefully decorate the main seating area. Collections of cans from Tacoma breweries, some long gone, attract the curious.
If you haven't seen it, and it's worth coming in for all the beer historians out there, we have a can collection that spans the wall. And those cans, the earliest ones date back to the late 30s.
Seth and his staff eagerly provide a pint in a tap handle minute. But the empty beer cans, mostly from bygone eras, provide a touch of history and class that Seth's patrons admire.
I've had a great time with guests and with family members coming in and reminiscing and saying, oh, I remember what my great-grandfather used to drink. Do you have this on the shelf? And we'll go and there she is. And you know, the great stories and the history of beer and their memories that elicits for people has been really, really cool to hear and be a part of.
Demographics traditionally cover specific lifestyles. With Hank's Bar and Pizza, Seth finds a customer base diverse in background and tastes.
We're blessed enough to have an incredibly eclectic group of guests that come to see us. We sit in a neighborhood where we'll see, sitting amongst the bar, we'll see a lawyer sitting next to the local garbage man, sitting next to a construction worker, and so on and so forth. It makes for a pretty unique environment. A really great place to hang out.
Training, service, and product knowledge all contribute to the sense of quality experience at Hank's. As the manager of the pub, Seth figures he can do it all in a pinch.
Yes, I can do everything, but so can everyone else on our staff. We cross-train everyone, so my bartenders are not only bartenders, but they could go back and they could throw pizza dough. The same goes for all the folks that work in our kitchen. They're also cross-trained to work behind the bar. That creates an interesting model, and for that, we divide our gratuities amongst all the staff.
Finding just the right place can make or break a company. Hank's found the location based on the owner's success at Parkway Tavern, both being neighborhood icons based in Tacoma's North End.
We try to focus on featuring Tacoma and local breweries as well as distilleries. So you'll see a lot of great stuff from local guys like Tacoma Brewing and Pacific Malting and Brewing, Wet Coast, Wingman. We really try to focus on Tacoma as well as the greater breweries in the Northwest.
Breads, homemade pretzels, and signature pizzas are the mainstay of Hank's, but from time to time, special treats always pop up.
We do change it seasonally just to kind of cater to what the guests are asking for.
Seth even gave a plug for people interested in future opportunities.
So we're constantly in need of great staff. So Tacoma, if you're looking for gainful employment, come and see us. Drop off a resume. We're always growing.
Hank's Bar and Pizza is a mainstay in this quiet North End neighborhood. From beer and business to customers and community, Seth says this is the place to be.
It's a wonderful community, and just like the representation of our guests, a very eclectic group, that's Tacoma, you know, and it's such a just down-to-earth, good feeling amongst the people you meet. I don't know that you could find a better place to put a bar. It's just a great place to operate a business.
That's it for Business Matters. Join me next time for more insight into the Tacoma business scene. See you then.